Connor Swenson. Connor Swenson. All right. Tybee McLaughlin. Tybee Bush. All right. Ryan Erzweski. Is that no good? Is that a letter you can hand me?
Yeah, I'm going to hand you a letter for Ryan.
Ryan Scott.
I'm Ryan Scott.
All right, first I want to make it clear to the gentleman that said this is a NIMBY issue. It's not a not in my backyard issue. It's a case of we're not against real jobs, progress, clean energy, or a clean environment. We're against the companies of wolves in sheep's clothing who are hiding behind a platform of clean energy. Most of the jobs for RICL are already contracted with companies outside of our state, as stated in RICL's own testimony to the ICC. Apparently, RICL and Cleanline Energy Partners has forgotten where the food on their tables come from, the clothes on their back, and half of the materials our industries work on. The dinner on your plate in the fancy restaurant you eat in was raised by a farmer or a rancher. The clothes you're wearing, probably unless they're nylon, are created by farmers. Half the newspapers you read, the ink is created by soy products. The people who will profit most from this are from out of state. The real jobs and money are for the wealthy executives from Texas, such as Jimmy Glotfelty, who ran the Department of Energy, which appoints and oversees members of the FERC with an established ability to influence the legal groundwork under which this industry is regulated, or should I say deregulated. Something he can now profit from substantially in the private sector. We have Michael Skelly, which I noticed he's been missing the last two, former CEO of Horizon Wind, now owned by EDP Renewables, a giant energy broker which has received over $400 million in green stimulus intended for U.S. companies. Horizon Wind was sold out just prior to the economic crash, and we believe that once Cleanline establishes its routes, is very likely to sell out to them as well. Especially since Horizon Wind is still collecting probably billions in stimulus money through U.S. university-sponsored programs, and the taxpayers' money is going right out of the country. We also have other individuals, top executives of Cleanline, who are former Horizon Wind executives, and who also work for Enron. And, might I add, Mr. Glotfelty praised Ken Lay's advice on how to open markets just months before they slipped into bankruptcy. And even in 2002, stated that Enron almost always got it right with restructuring. We could easily compare Cleanline's company profile to that of Enron. Do we really need a group reminiscent of Jeff Skilling and Ken Lay deciding whose property in Illinois they would be most happy to take by eminent domain? And let's cover eminent domain. Public utility status comes with eminent domain. It's part of the package. Not to mention the fact we have other states, like New Mexico, who created their own agency just to give Cleanline eminent domain for their Centennial project, the only project on Rita's list. Should we believe your claims that you don't want to take property when you've done it in other states? You've made it clear that's your intention. Nothing that RICL, Cleanline Energy Partners, can offer in Illinois is acceptable because it's strictly for the profit of Clean Line executives and its investment partners. And we are learning who all of them are. We have a lot of big banks, and the people of Illinois will gain nothing. They will lose significant stake in their own agricultural businesses, not to mention their homes and land. Rock Island Clean Line and Clean Line Energy Partners spent years promoting this project to the political clout, not the landowners. I got a little flyer a few weeks before Christmas that my husband burned his junk mail because that's what it looked like. I don't call that telling the landowners that you're coming. Illinois landowners are not easily swayed by big money, and we're more than happy to look into company practices before handing over the deeds of our land. This is the second time in my life that I have had to stand up against a project funded by government to take my land for someone else who's got more money. Farming is an honorable industry. Snake charming is not. Nothing that you have offered us, your compensation, or your renewable portfolio standards that you say we have to abide by. Renewable portfolio standards, if I have my information correct, Clean Line Energy Partners executives contributed to that renewable portfolio standard. They helped establish it. And if you look at the renewable portfolio standard, wind got everything, solar got nothing. I'd like to know how many people in Clean Line have investment portfolios full of wind investments. Basically, our Congress is doing that, and I can honestly see other individuals who have access to that information have probably invested in things that are costing us, the taxpayer, money. It takes a conscience to believe that it's not right to take another man's home or land or inheritance for any reason. I'm not sure that any of the executives of Clean Line or their investment partners have one. They've already sold out Horizon Wind. Why shouldn't they sell the rest of us out to EDP once they get these routes established? I don't want to hand my power production and land rights to a company whose executives are more likely to sell out to their foreign counterparts for nothing more than greed. I asked the ICC to deny the right of Rock Island Clean Line and Clean Line Energy Partners any public utility status. As the other people said, they are not a public utility, they're a private company with investment bankers. They are nothing more than an energy broker, and their company is nothing more than an Enron clone. They are exactly the same. Thank you.
RICL, SCO,